Our goal is to make a huge difference in space exploration. Try to make space a lot more like air transport.
They're coming up soon.
Yes.
That'll be exciting.
It's a great partnership that we have here between NASA, the Air Force, the FAA.
Well, that's good to know. Yeah. John, FAA, we're going to have to get them involved.
So the rocket kind of puts that in a parking orbit.
Okay.
Hi, sir. Bill Lee Rosa. Welcome to Cape Canaveral. How are you? I'm well, sir. Very well. Thanks for coming.
Well, tell me about the SpaceX.
Well, our goal is to make a huge difference in space exploration. Try to make space a lot more like air transport. You know, if you think about it, it's been, from 1903 to 1969. From 1903, when the Wright brothers first flew, to 1969, 66 years. The first part flight landing on the moon. It's been.
Oh, so what are we doing here?
Well, this is the launch location for our Falcon 9 rocket by Dragon spacecraft, which you may have seen parked on the launch pad there. We'll do the first launch of this big rocket.
They're coming up soon.
Yes.
That'll be exciting.
It's a great partnership that we have here between NASA, the Air Force, the FAA, SpaceX. It's really a great commercial government balance here. The state of Florida as well has pitched in, so it's really made all of this happen very, very quickly.
Right. I mean, Air Force has been really helpful. So I do think on the FAA side, just there's a revolution taking place, a big change taking place in the NASA plans and to commercial spaceflight. That doesn't seem mapped at the FAA on the space side, which it isn't currently. I do think that is a critical thing.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
John, FAA, we're going to have to get them involved.
We're going to think.
Okay. There you go. Hey, have you met John Olvin, my national
Science.
National Science Holder?
Very nice to meet you.
And I'm assuming you know him.
Yes, absolutely. Nice to meet you. How are you?
Okay, that's terrific. So was construction actually done here in this factory?
Yes,
Or in
this is where we did the final assembly of the rocket and the spacecraft. So the manufacturing is currently done in California,
Right.
and then we do our testing of the engines in Texas, and then it comes here to the Cape for final assembly.
And this was an old Air Force launch pad, sir, that was accessed over to SpaceX. So, a great partnership again to be able to provide them with a great capability and share the land here on a long-term lease.
So what's been the biggest challenge in terms of getting the Falcon going?
Well, the whole rocket's been built from the ground up, so that it's difficult to say that any one particular challenge has been greater than the others because we've developed the engines, the structures, the avionics, the launch operations, all from scratch, basically. I do think some of the regulatory stuff has been challenging, and that's where I think the biggest need is to make changes.
All right.
Yes, sir. And our number one concern, of course, is public safety. And we've been doing the best we can, but public safety is non-negotiable in some places.
Well, absolutely. We don't want a rocket landing on anybody's head.
You got it, sir.
Right, and we absolutely agree with that. I mean, our goal is to make a much more reliable vehicle, first of all, and secondly, to make a big improvement.
Yeah, in terms of use, I think the idea is that this would help to supply the space mission.
That's correct. So we've already been selected by NASA to perform the cargo transport function that the space shuttle was performing.
Right.
And that decision was made about a year and a half ago.
Right.
Leslie Woods.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Woods.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Brian Mostel.
Good to see you, Brian. How are you?
Chloe. Viewers.
Good to see you. Well, let's go take a look at the clock. Have to go to the clock. Well,
the flight's on 80. And you're complete with tests on the flight to base. Independent football that stops the rocket flying and actually Moses up if it goes in forward. And that's something that we expect to finish in about 3 weeks. All goes for time, we'll launch and
I remember.
yeah.
But you,
And then Tesla as well.
No, you must have like a lot of bad spots.
So And I think it's fair to say that this is the most advanced rocket in the world. It's the only rocket that's designed in the 21st century. And the patches you see there are actually bonded on special thermal protection, because the real big breakthrough that's needed with rocketry is a truly reusable rocket. You know, if we're to make a revolution in space, it's got to be reusable. If you think about any mode of transport, bicycle, plane,
It's just too expensive to, have it disposed of.
exactly. And thus far, it's been an elusive dream in space to create a truly reusable rocket. That's what we're going to try to do with that. Kind of heat tiles for when the stage re-enters to survive the heat of re-entry. So on this flight, we're going to try to recover the first stage, and then later we're going to try to recover both stages. Second stage is tougher because it's an orbit that needs a full heat shield, a deorbit engine, control during re-entry. We'll also do practice forward landings, and that'll be kind of the initial phase. And then the later phase will be to have it essentially fly back to the land site, and land on a truck.
Once you achieve, you're outside the aircraft.
Yep.
What,
If we take a look at the rocket, you see basically that the rocket part is stage rocket. And then a little bit at the top, yes. So there's a little bit at the top, and then there's basically like a sleeve there. And that section, so the rocket kind of puts that in a parking orbit.
Okay.
And it's about 100 miles below the space station or so.
Okay.
And then that little craft has got its little engines on it, and it maneuvers over to the space station. And
and now at this stage it's unmanned, so you're going to be able to just control that.
Yeah, it's designed to an automated docking and then return to Earth and just land in the water just off the coast of California. Now, when we go to the manned version, the big change is we need a crew escape system. So sort of an escape rockets in case something goes wrong with the booster. And we're going to do something pretty radical there, which is to build the rockets into the spacecraft itself, so that this is tough.
Yeah, I'm not an engineer, but I can tell that's complicated. But what's wonderful is to see getting the best possible innovation. And obviously, we're going to try to see if we can accelerate this kind of collaboration to put forward. So
It's the right plan.
good. Well, congratulations. This is terrific.